let's move on into what we think of them here at Dave Campbell's Texas Football. Like we said, we've been going through each region of the state. We will continue to do that all season long. But we have pulled the numbers, and we have in our 21 different regions, we have 24 teams listed in the Concho Valley. Now, she talked a lot about Coleman, the Blue Cats.
Yeah.
We technically put them in the big country, and she said that. She says, we share them with Abilene. It kind of depends on, if numbers start dwindling for the Concho Valley, they're going to go ahead and go over to those Coleman games, that kind of stuff. Coleman is a perennial powerhouse program, so that's probably another reason why they're like, that's close enough to go cover.
We're just going to consider them as a, for sure.
Exactly. So 24 total teams that we have listed in the Concho Valley. Of those 24, 6 of them are ranked. That is exactly spot on. 25% of the Concho Valley ranked in our preseason top 25. So we'll go ahead and let's go through those 6 ranked teams here. And we're going to start off in 3A Division 2. That's the largest classification in the Concho Valley that we have with a ranked team. Now, you'll go back and you'll remember that there are 6A San Angelo Central. There's 4A Division 1 San Angelo Lakeview. But the next largest classification, there is no 5A and there is no 4A Division 2. There is no 3A Division 1. The next classification is 3 Division 2. And there you will find number 18, the Wall Hawks. Moving down to 2A Division 1, it is the Punchers out of Mason coming in at number 13 in 2A Division 1. And then, shortly behind them, you'll see the team that Amy is very high on in the Cristobal Cougars down there at number 17. They are a move up from 2A Division 2. So that's where they were at last year. They've moved up, yet we still think they are good enough to be ranked in the preseason top 25, which is not easy to do.
No, not at all. And these two teams are going to play each other too, week 4 of the season. So that's why I said, keep an eye on this matchup because it's gonna be a really good one. My brother's starting to come out at me. He says that all the time. He's like, hey, look at this. And I'm like, hey, look at this matchup right here. It's going to be a good one. 13, 17 preseason ranked teams.
Oh my God, that's the best breakdown I've ever heard. They play week 4. I gotta catch my breath after that. That was that caught me so off guard.
Hey, can I express it anymore? I said it to Amy. I'm saying it now.
If you don't go to that game, I'm gonna call you the biggest fraud because
what am I doing week 4? What am I doing week 4? I'll go. Don't worry.
All right. Whew. Catching our breath now and moving on to the rest of the ranked teams in the Concho Valley. And look at that. 2A Division 2. We have number 18 in El Dorado. Then we go down to the 6-man ball, and it is the alma mater of Miss Amy McDaniel, and that is number 10, Irian County. And then down in the smallest classification in the UIL 1A Division 2, you will find Rochelle ranked at number 15. So of the 24 teams, those are the 6 ranked teams. I'll go ahead and, since there's only 24 teams, I'll read through the rest of them just in case you're curious. I mentioned both San Angelo schools. The Central in 6A, 4A Division 1 is Lakeview. Then the other teams in 3A Division 2, you have Brady, San Angelo Grapevine Creek, and San Angelo TLCA. Going down to 2A Division 1, we talked about Cristobal, and then their district bunkmates Ozona, Reagan County, and Sonora. And then in 14 2A Division 1, you'll see Junction and Mason. Then 2A Division 2, El Dorado, Sterling City, and Water Valley. Move up from 6-man last year. 1A Division 1, you have Eden, Irian County, Menard, Robert Lee, and Verabest. And then in 1A Division 2, you have the aforementioned Brought, Paint Rock, Lone. I think it's Lone. I asked Tepper how to say that again. I'm sorry. Lohn. It
sounds like Lone.
Yeah, I asked Tepper yesterday, and he told me, and now I can't remember. Yeah. So there's that. And then the number 5 ranked Rochelle Hornets. So those are the 24 teams that we have listed in the Concho Valley. Like we said, they like to kind of go back and forth a little bit with the Abilene area. They're both 325 greater areas. So there is that. Moving on now to our player expert, coordinator of vibes, I'm going to figure out something eventually, or I'm just going to keep rambling on about something with vibes. Mallory Hartley for our Concho Valley players to watch.
Just that girl that talks about players all the time.
Vibes.
Nothing
but vibes.
All right, let's move on to players to watch in the Concho Valley. We'll throw up this graphic here.
Yo,
let's start off strong with Wall defensive back Nathan Pepper, man. But for real though, this dude's the real deal. He is our District 2 3A Division 2 preseason defensive MVP. This dude's crazy fast with an eye for the ball. He runs a 4.6 40-yard dash. So
not bad.
That's pretty fast for
Not
high school.
bad.
And in a lower classification too. He really can spot the ball with ease and will probably be a threat to any team that he's playing. And then I think I said Wall's got 10 defensive returning starters.
yeah.
So that'll take the pressure off of Pepper a little bit. So he'll be able to step up in a bigger way.
Yeah. No, he's definitely kind of the key cog of that defense. But yeah, Wall's defense should be nasty this year, but Pepper will definitely be leading it. I genuinely wonder if Tepper is aware that Pepper is there, because usually that's what people get his name confused with.
Let's see. We'll quiz him. I wonder if he's watching. We'll see.
Probably not.
We'll,
Hi, Tep. And Pep. Tep and Pep.
Tep and Oh,
Shout out
if
Nathan
only
Pepper.
Step it would. Well, I guess Step works too. Tep and Step.
A lot of
Anyways.
peas.
Anyway, moving on to, we've mentioned them enough, Cristobal running back Catcher Joyner. He is our District 3 2A Division 1 preseason offensive MVP. He's pretty big for a 2A running back.
Yeah.
He's 5'10", 220 pounds. Yeah, he's a tank.
a load.
He's a tank, and when I pulled up some of his stats on Huddle, he's just mowing down people. Like, you can't pull him down.
No, he's huge. Like, straight up, he's huge.
Yeah.
And that's,
Big for a 2A.
That's big for realistically
it's
anything.
true, yeah.
I mean, so height-wise, he's not incredibly tall, but even for a running back, I mean, a high
For a
school
running back, I feel like
5'10"
that's
is
pretty average.
stinking big, but it's the 220 he is.
Yeah,
He's kind of
he's
like
big.
an immovable force there. But Catcher Joyner will be an absolute name to know, especially when we talk about that, and we'll talk about it a little later on, but that District 3 2A Division 1, which we're incredibly high on, he'll be quite the player to watch out for.
Yep. Moving on down, Sonora running back Hunter O'Bannon. He's our District 3 2A Division 1 preseason defensive MVP. He put up a lot of big numbers last year. He missed a couple of games due to an injury, but now that word is that he's fully healthy and he's coming back to play for the rest of his high school career. And so they're going to rely really heavily on him this year. Also, Sonora has got a really young offensive line.
Yeah.
So hopefully him being such a big guy will take the pressure off of that offensive line just a little bit.
Yeah, like you mentioned, he missed basically an entire month last year from that injury. But yeah, everything that I've heard as well says that he's back up to full health. And so, yeah, seeing the two of them go off against each other too, because like we mentioned, Sonora and Cristobal are both in the same district. That'll be incredibly exciting. But Hunter O'Bannon, he's going to be the thing that makes that defense go there for Sonora.
Up next, probably one of the best defensive linemen in West Texas, El Dorado defensive lineman Sam Griffin. He's our 2A preseason. He's on our 2A preseason All-State team. He's got a knack for just getting in the backfield and getting at that quarterback. They're going to have a stout defensive line with Griffin really being the anchor for them this year.
No doubt.
Moving on down to
Irian.
Irian. For some reason, it's just one of those names that I can't get down.
Well, because I
right
always
want to
say, I want to say iron, and then I'm like, there's another
there's
I.
another I. Yeah, but it's clear here. Irian County got two players on here to watch, but we'll start off with quarterback Trevin Coughl. Fun fact about this guy.
All right.
I was reading about him.
And here with a fun fact.
Here we go. He recently, in July, won the tie-down roping average title at the Texas FFA Rodeo.
Let's go. Future farmers of America, baby. Stand up, Irian County.
And I mention this because if you remember, he's a quarterback, which speaks to his quick release and his accuracy.
Let's go. Look at City Girl
There we
Mallory
go.
Hartley talking about roping and comparing it. Man, that's like analogy gold there.
Oh, I know.
I'm
That's
proud
what I'm saying.
of you.
Well, I saw that and I was like, well, I got to see this dude's film and see if that kind of translates. And it does. it translates perfectly. He's our 1A preseason. He's on our 1A preseason All-State team. He's the District 13 1A Division I preseason offensive MVP. They're also going to have a lot of size up front too, to protect Coughl, so he'll be able to throw the ball down deep, which will speak to our wide receiver here in a minute.
Dude, my Lano heart is so stinking proud of you right now.
Oh, thanks.
Look at you.
It's funny. I actually asked Ish if he knew what it was, and he was like, "No."
Oh, absolutely.
And I was like, "You know what? I bet it is. I bet it's when they rope the cow and they like try and tie it up." And then I looked at images, and that's right.
Yep. Good job.
Thanks.
Good
Appreciate
job.
that. But speaking of our wide receiver, we've got Irian County wide receiver Beau Morrow on our players to watch in the Concho Valley. He is also on our 1A preseason All-State team. This dude is really a deep threat on offense. Like I mentioned earlier, Irian County just has a big offensive line, so that's going to give a ton of time to Coughl to throw down deep to Morrow.
Yeah, those two are, it's like, oh gosh darn it. I totally had an analogy and I lost it. I think I'm still like roped up in the fact that you were so good with that. But no, seriously, this is a pair that will be able to go long on people, and that's something that's incredibly beneficial when you get down to 6-man ball like this. Being able to create that space, and if you just have a kid that's bigger than someone, if you have a good sized wide receiver and a quarterback that can get him the ball, then you're in good shape, and that's why they're ranked number 10.
Yeah, this pair is going to be the ones that other teams are going to watch the most tape of, because they're going to be a deep threat. And lastly, on our list of players to watch from the Concho Valley, we got Eden linebacker Jesus Morales. He is our District 13 1A Division I preseason defensive MVP. He's quick. He puts immense pressure on the cornerback, and he's going to probably provide a lot of senior leadership for this team this year, because Eden lost a lot of starters to graduation from last year, so they're going to really count on him and a couple others to step up and take that leadership role. Yeah,
it seems like we've been talking a lot about quite a few of these teams having a lot of returning, and Eden was definitely the one that they're going to have to kind of start over there, but having Jesus there especially to put some pressure, that'll be huge for them.
Yep.
So there it is. Vibes.
There you go. There's your players to watch in the Concho Valley region. We mentioned a lot of those teams already, but we're about to mention a lot more.
Yeah, so let's go ahead, and we've created 3 different kind of key notes that we think that you should be paying attention to. We'll start off with the first one being New Year.
Same focal points.
Same focal points. And it's funny because I typed this headline with something completely opposite in mind and sent it to Mallory, and she has a different thing. So we're actually going to give you we're going to break this into 2 parts. So mine was, I don't care how long it's been or what season they had last year. To me, when I think of the Concho Valley, the 2 focal points I always think about is Wall and Mason. You heard Amy say it earlier. I grew up in Llano, and we played both of these teams. Mason is the town next to Llano. And then Wall, I spent my however old I turned in 8th grade, I spent my birthday at a track meet in Wall. So it's nice. These are 2 teams that even when I was in high school, growing up, even through junior high, those were always the Concho Valley teams that sparked in my mind. Wall is in District 2-3 Division 2. They are our number 18th ranked team. Houston Guy is the coach, and the thing about Wall is they had a very not normal year last year. They went 5-5. They got knocked out in by district. That is not normal. Well, I mean, the past 3 years it's been 9-3, 12-1, 8-4. So they've kind of been on that little bit of a downhill trend. But this is the year I think that we see Wall kind of start to bounce back and get back to what they always have been. They've got the flex bone offense, and like you said, they've got 8 starters returning on offense and 10 starting on defense. So that in and of itself, they were a very young team last year, kind of uncharacteristic, but I think that Wall will be a team that you will see start at 18 and continue to move their way up our rankings as the year goes on. And then, of course, the other half of that being the punchers out of Mason in 14-2A Division 1. They have a strong senior class coming back. There's 6 returners on offense, 5 on defense. But the thing for me is Mason in realignment got put in gonna be honest, a pretty easy district, one that they should rightfully be at the top of, if I don't think that there's really anything. The thing about Mason and the thing that they've run into the past couple of years is that they're pretty small.
Yeah.
Not a lot of big players, but the small players that they do have are really fast.
Speedy, yeah.
So Mason being able to utilize their wide receivers, really get on the outside and try and play really honestly a game of long ball is going to be what they're going to try to do. And they've always had great speed, especially at the running back position. So I think if their lines can hold up long enough against some bigger teams in their district, they shouldn't have any issue making it. Now, playoffs gets a little bit different. They run into some tough competition there, but ultimately I think that the two teams that you always look for will be back in the mix in both Wall and Mason heading into the 2022 season.
For sure. Now, here's my take on this storyline. I was, of course, doing my research on the Concho Valley, and I came across an article over Irian County, excuse me. There it is again. I messed it up again. Irian County. I'm going to get it down, I promise. I'm sorry, Amy. Anyways, they're typically a pretty good team. They make the playoffs quite a bit. They just haven't won a playoff game since 1971. Well, this year might be the year that Irian County wins a playoff game. They've got a heck of a amount of players coming back. They got a lot of depth at pretty much every position. If you can remember back to our players to watch, we had two of them from Irian County. We had quarterback Trevin Coughl and his right-hand man, wide receiver Beau Morrow. Both of those guys are going to play an instrumental role in the job that Irian County will do this year. Now, that's the good news. Now, switching over to the bad news here.
Yeah, this is a gauntlet.
This is a gauntlet here. If they're good enough to make the playoffs, their first round, they're going to run into May.
Oof.
Yeah, and if you guys don't remember, May was the 1A Division II state champion runner-up 2021 and 2020. For 2 years in a row, this team is really good. May is the number 3 preseason ranked team in the state. And if they get past May, they're probably projecting they're probably gonna have to play Jonesboro, which is the number 4
which is another big
the state. Yes. So all this to say, they're going to be an interesting team to watch because we know they're going to be good. We know they've got a lot of talent coming back, a lot of depth at those positions, but it's just going to be a matter of fact of who they get matched up with in the first round and if they're going to be good enough to beat them.
I was going to say it's big yay boo territory because yay playoffs boo two of the best teams in the state.
You can be undefeated all the way until that first playoff game, but it's like if you're going to get matched up with May, it's going to be real difficult.
You're bludgeoned.
So we'll see if they can win their first playoff game since 1971. Maybe they can break that streak here this season.
Just rough. It's a rough region.
Yeah, it is.
So there you go. New Year, same kind of focal points here. Moving on to our second storyline to follow, and that would be a district to watch. We've talked about them. We've heard Amy talk about them. We'll briefly go over this, but District 3 2A Division 1 is just intriguing for so many different reasons. We have Cristobal at the very top, picked to win the district. Like Amy said, she could also see Sonora. You have, 1A and 1B, and it's kind of like which one is it gonna be? It really just depends. You've got the preseason offensive MVP on one. You've got the preseason defensive MVP on one. We've kind of really hounded on that. They'll end up playing, but that is a lot of fun. And then you have Ozona. The Lions are dropped down from 3A. They're very, very fast. And so when you start getting into territories like that where you have a team that has a lot of depth on it and they're fast, they can run an up tempo, and honestly, they can just help wear people down. So an easy get on their part to be able to say, hey, we got a lot more guys that can keep running the ball. So that always plays a little bit of a factor. And then you have the Reagan County Owls, head coach Kyle Brown, and what he's been doing. That's a really good defensive team. So ultimately, those are some of the top 2A Division 1 teams that we have. The fact that they're all in the same district and they're being paired up with a couple of 3A drop downs, I think that if you're looking for a really fun smaller school district, District 3 and 2A Division 1 is exactly where you're going to want to go with that.
And when you look at this district as a whole, when you go team by team, each one of these teams is just getting better and better each year. Their records are just improving. There's not a team that's just kind of staying the same. Each one's improving throughout the year. So it's going to be a real fun district to watch this season.
It is. And then finally, our last storyline to follow here, and that is smallest classification, big competition. Of course, we're talking about 1A Division 1, but let's specifically talk about District 16. So the final district in the smallest UIL classification. Now they do play 6-man ball, but we talked about number 15 in 1A Division 1 or 1A Division 2 rather, and that is the Rochelle Hornets. They have an insanely tough district, and it's not matched up with there are a couple other Concho Valley teams there, but it's really when you get outside of the Concho Valley, and I believe we have both of these in our Big Country section. I would have to go back and look.
Yeah, I think you're right.
But in this district, you have number 15 Rochelle Hornets. We picked them third in their district, and that might sound crazy, but the reason being is because they have number 4 Richland Springs. You may have heard of them. I don't care if you're a big school snob. You've heard of Richland Springs. Coach Jerry Burkhart, they made it to the state semifinal last year. They did not make it to state for the first time in a while, but one of the most winningest programs in UIL history.
I remember that game stuck out to me because it was played not at AT&T Stadium, because remember they had
last
some
time that
COVID
they won.
issues and stuff like that too. So it was Richland Springs that didn't get to play. They played their state championship game.
They beat Balmorhea.
Yeah, they
lost to Balmorhea.
But they played their state championship game.
Yes.
Not at AT&T State. So that's the one that stuck out to me the most.
Yeah, that was in the 2020 COVID year, so they had to play it in January. Yeah, everything was weird. But that's when Coach Vance Jones got another one for him.
Yeah.
But so they have number 4 Richland Springs in their district. The second ranked team that we have in their district is number 10 in the Cherokee Indians. I know our buddy Jacob McNeil is always saying that Cherokee's going to win state. He comes in literally every single day of the offseason and lets us know. But what Coach Zach White has been doing at Cherokee down there, a program that has really, really started to climb the ranks of 6-man football. So that's 16 1A Division 2. It's very, very, very small school football. Rochelle has an enrollment of 49 students. So
it's crazy to always look at those enrollments. It's wild.
Little bitty, but unbelievable competition between the 3 of those. So, yeah, the fact that the number 15 ranked team in 1A Division 2 is ranked 3rd in their district says a lot. So if you're in a small school 6-man ball, this 16 1A Division 2 has definitely got you covered.
Yeah, I was just going to say, too, Irian County, when I was looking them up, they're close to like 100 kids for enrollment, which is pretty big. Well, that's why they got so much depth at every position, but,
Yep.
Just had to mention that.
Yep. Thanks so much for watching that video. If you would like more and to be notified when they come out, go ahead and click that subscribe button right down there. You can also watch Texas Football Today every day live at noon on TexasFootball.com, Facebook, Twitch, and right here on YouTube. For more of the best coverage of Texas football in the Lone Star State, go to TexasFootball.com/subscribe.